Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are late to the stage, halfway through the first. We are now live between the Rochester Steel and the Quebec City Victoire. Shots are 6-3 in favor for Quebec. We'll see what goes on. And here's Aloydia with it. Aloydia in his own zone. Gonna send this one up to Ice Spiller. Ice Spiller is absolutely leveled at the blue line by Shug, and that's gonna be a penalty. That is dirty, and CHPA will be looking into that one. Rochester to the power play, presumably, I assume, for the first time this game. And we'll see the power play lineup of Porter Martone, also known as Tendy41, probably Caption, and Dripsky, versus McChicken and Meatbag Frank. And that is a great shot right off of the face-off. Cookie's going to hold this one as long as he can and drops it for Frank. Miscommunication on the play. And he's going to send this one out, and it's going to be a 3-on-1. Or did the ref make a mistake? I believe Meatbag Frank may be coming out of the box here. And that call will be reversed. It is still a 3-on-2 power play for Rochester. 36 seconds to go. McChicken to take the draw against Porter Martone. And that draw is won by Quebec. And they're able to free the puck from the zone. Momentarily, though, Rochester is there to regroup. Here comes Porter Martone. 2-on-0. Shot scores! And that is an excellent shot by Porter Martone. Picks it up off the clear. They outman Quebec. They force two guys low. Cookie has nowhere to go. Do I have to play the 2-on-1 or am I taking the shot? Tendy with a nice move, or Porter Martone, and takes the shot and buries it. The score is 1-0 on the power play for the Rochester Steel. And here's Dripsky into the zone. Pass over to the slot. Shot and a save by Cookie Monster. Quebec is able to break it out, but Rochester's there to regroup, and a bad line change. Dripsky on a break shot, and he goes wide with it. The fans are loud in Rochester. And here's Dripsky. Dripsky with a nice move, creates some space, tries to get it over to Porter Martone. Doesn't connect, and here's Shug the other way. Shug with a quick shot on net. That one's gloved down by Radiant Pup. New acquisition from the Oakland Seals. Radiant Pump, rookie goaltender. Looks to be playing all right through this one. 7 saves so far. And a big hit on the boards by Cam, and they're just going to send this one deep as Particle. Particle, nice move to pull this one back. Pulls it out again, back into the slot for Cam. Cam trying to get the shot off, and he just can't, but he keeps control of the puck. And here he is now, trying to get through 3, and it's gloved down by Radiant Pump. Turns it over in front, and another shot on net, but it's a great recovery by Radiant Pump. And Quebec is finally applying the pressure now. Haven't quite got a shot, though, which is crazy. And Rochester trying to clear this one. They are able, but Quebec is there to regroup at their own blue line. Going to take it through the neutral zone, and that's going to do it for the first period. We will be right back, or maybe we won't. It looks like we may be skipping. Minute 20 to go in the intermission. A no skip. Yes, we will be right back. And welcome back. 10 seconds to go in intermission. Rochester already on the ice. And the lights turn back on. 10 seconds to go. Here in the Martire Family Arena. Here comes Quebec out of the dressing room. Face-off will be commencing in 15 seconds. And here is a penalty right off the draw. We almost didn't see that one. Meatbag Frank absolutely levels Porter Martone. And Rochester is going back onto the power play for the second time tonight. They connected on the first one to make it 1-0. Shots are currently 6-7. And we'll see what Rochester can do here. Same power play lineup as before. Dripsky, Porter Martone, and probably Caption. And Porter Martone's going to win the draw over to Dripsky. Dripsky trying to get it to the point to probably Caption, and is taken away by Logan Stankoven, who's able to get this one in deep. Rochester there to retrieve it. Dripsky over to Porter Martone. Porter Martone with space. Crossover shot. And a big save by Cookie Monster, and he's going to hold that one for the whistle. 25 seconds to go in this power play. Has a great opportunity there. We'll see if they are able to connect. And back to probably Caption. Off to Dripsky, off the crossbar. That one just squeaks out. Here's Porter Martone back to Dripsky. Dripsky with a shot. Saved by Cookie Monster. Rochester Steel back with it. Porter Martone back to Dripsky. Dripsky pulls it to himself. Scores. And that is an excellent power play setup by Rochester in that triangle. They just keep feeding it down low, trying to get it back and forth. I feel like Quebec expected another pass there, but Dripsky just pulls it to himself and puts that in far side. It is 2-0 for the Rochester Steel. And here's the Giat. Giat takes it deep into Quebec territory, pulls it to himself. Quick shot on net, and that's saved by Cookie Monster. Through the neutral zone. Big hit there by Cam to free up the puck. Not quite able to get it in deep. Rochester still with it. Giat sends this one in. Shug is there to retrieve it. Shug trying to get around the net, but he's blocked down by the hard forecheck by Ice Spiller. Two guys on him. Giat with the puck now over to Ice Spiller. Ice Spiller shot, save. Rebound picked up by Cam. Cam's able to clear this one up to Particle. Opportunity for Quebec. Particle trying to sneak this one in. Looks like he's low on stamina. And Dripsky's able to come off the bench, and he's able to hit him off of it to free it up. And here's Rochester. Rochester, quick shot, just goes wide. Porter Martone's there to pick it up. Over to himself, tries to get it out front, but Cookie Monster with an active glove to take that one away. Quebec on the breakout, stopped at the line by Porter Martone. Shot saved by Cookie Monster again. Quebec definitely needs to sharpen up their defense if they want to have a shot with this one. I won't even begin on the offense. They haven't had a shot this entire period. They've barely come close, but, they're just getting outworked by Rochester Steel right now. And, they got to do better. Obviously, they are missing their star player, Grimace, who is on the LTIR currently. But, they can't rely just on one guy. Here's Porter Martone. Through the neutral zone to Dripsky. Shot, rebound. Another save by Cookie Monster. Dripsky with it now. Dripsky with a shot. Just goes wide of the net. Quebec attempting to break this one out. Sent back deep by Dripsky. Dripsky goes for a line change. They're finally able to free it momentarily, but it's just throughout the neutral zone. Ice Spiller sends this one in deep. His stick is going to break. He gets a stick from the bench, and he's back out there, but Cam 364 is able to move this up to Meatbag Frank. Meatbag Frank trying to get around Aloydia. Still in a foot race. Finally gets this one in deep. Appears to have a step on Aloydia now, but just loses it. Gets it back. Battling in the corner. It's back and forth. Meatbag Frank trying to pull it to himself. Goes up to the point. Big block by Ice Spiller. Puck frees the zone, but Particle is going to take it right back in. He's deep into Rochester territory, trying to pull this one to the slot. Can't quite, but it's going back and forth. Rochester not able to get this one out. Into the crease. Glove down by Radiant Pup, trying to clear this one, but he can't. Quebec is applying the pressure on the second line here. Particle just about out of breath as Dripsky, over 50 stam more than him, gets onto the ice. Dripsky's just going to keep peppering him and lowering Particle's stam, and he finally gets free. He's going to break this one out over to Porter Martone. Porter Martone just misses that one, and Shug's able to clear this one through the neutral zone. Doesn't find a player, though. But probably Caption makes a stumble on the puck, and here's Shug down the other way. Shug just out-muscled by veteran defenseman probably Caption. And it's just going back and forth, but here's McChicken trying to get around Caption again. Stopped up the blue line continuously. Just going back and forth through the neutral zone now. Trying to get this one over to Porter Martone, but a great play by Gabe to knock this one down. Porter Martone gets it back, though. He's going to send this one across to Dripsky. Dripsky can't make nothing of it. And it's back through the neutral zone. Quebec trying to get a regroup there, but it's just blocked up at the blue line again. They're struggling to get through the first line defense of probably Caption. Porter Martone there to help him out. And there's a through pass, but it's just not quite on the stick of McChicken. Or sorry, Logan Stankoven is also his IGN now. And they just can't get it through. They can't get what they need to do. Shots are 13-7, 18 seconds to go in the second period. We have two second line matchups here. Rochester only 2 players on the ice currently. Not sure why. Maybe they're having an injury issue. Giat onto the ice now. Giat with it. Giat trying to find time and space. Absolutely leveled by Cam, and here comes Quebec the other way. Particle hit by Ice Spiller at the blue line. Still in control. Finally blocked down at the blue line, and that's going to do it for the second period. Shots are 13-7, 2-0 for the Rochester Steel. And we are back for the third period. Radiant Pup leading the Steel out of the dressing room. Cookie Monster for Quebec. 15 seconds to go before the start of period 3. Quebec needs to sharpen up their game if they want to have a chance in this one, and they definitely need to get some shots on net. Logan Stankoven to the draw. And Porter Martone with a win back to probably Caption, trying to go up to Dripsky, but it's picked off. Porter Martone picks up the loose puck, and he almost gets through, but Meatbag Frank with a great poke check, forcing Rochester to regroup in their own end, but it gives an opportunity for Quebec. Just hit away. They're sending it deep. Here's, oh my god, it's Gabe. Gabe over to McChicken, pulls it back. No one there to retrieve the pass, though. Rochester's able to clear it momentarily, sent right back deep by Meatbag Franks. Quebec on the forecheck. Gabe out in front, tries to pull it back. Meatbag Frank sends it right back deep. Rochester clears the zone, but it's sent right back deep again by Quebec. Back and forth through the neutral zone. Quebec able to regroup this one cleanly. Here's Gabe trying to get a shot through 2 people, but it's blocked down. And here's Giat. Giat with some space sends an area pass to Icepiller. Icepiller is going to get pinned on the wall. And a foot race between Giat and Gabe, and Giat appears to win this one. Giat trying to pull this one out of the corner, get it out in front, but it's paying away by Gabe, and they clear the zone. But it's brought right back in, and a big hit by Cam. Separates Giat from the puck, but he's still with it. Giat with an opportunity. Shot just goes wide in the net. Quebec sends this one up to Particle. Particle, one-on-one. Particle pulls it across, trying to get too fancy, and a great hit by Aloydia. But here's Gabe with it. Gabe trying to get it through. Cam trying to get it through, but he ultimately can't, and the Steel are able to get it deep into Quebec territory. Dripsky with it. Sends it over to the far side of Porter Martone. Back over to Dripsky. Great glove save by Cookie. High alertness by him to keep that one away from Porter Martone's stick. And here's Dripsky again. Dripsky pulls it back. One more move, trying to pull it to the net, but he ultimately can't. Still in the corner with it. Trying to get this one out front. Over to Porter Martone, and it's just blocked away by Logan Stankoven. 3 minutes to go in this third period. Still 2-0 for Rochester. And here's Porter Martone. Porter Martone trying to get this one over to Dripsky. He does. Pass doesn't quite connect. Back over to Porter Martone. Blocked away by the Quebec defense. Porter Martone out in front to Caption. Caption's going to lose the battle with Logan Stankoven. Stankoven with a nice move, but it's great recovery by Caption. Another great ping by Caption. He's there with it now, trying to go up to, and he doesn't. Quick shot on net. Save by Radiant Pup. Radiant Pup. And here's Aloydia. Aloydia to the Giat. Absolutely leveled by Meatbag Frank. And he's going to send this one deep into Rochester territory. Cam 364 onto the puck. Battling with Aloydia. Creates some space for himself. Trying to get this one out front. He does. Meatbag Frank's with it. Meatbag Frank's trying to pull this one back. Gets the shot. Rebound. Pops out in front. Still in Quebec possession. Another shot saved by Meatbag Frank. Radiant Pump's going to send this one behind the net to Aloydia. Aloydia's going to send it up to the Giat. Giat on a break. Giat moves over. Shot. Saved by Cookie Monster, and is picked up by Meatbag Franks, who's going to clear the zone and sends this one through the neutral zone. And he's still with the puck. Over to Cam 364. Cam with a shot just wide of the net. Still deep in Rochester territory, and Gabe's onto it now. Gabe with a hard forecheck pulls this one out of the corner. Big hit by Aloydia, pins him to the wall. Radiant Pump's able to retrieve it and send it behind the net to Aloydia. Aloydia is going to give it to Porter Martone for the breakout. Porter Martone's going to send this one up to Dripsky. Pass doesn't quite get through. A great defensive play by Logan Stankoven to send this one in deep. Here's Particle. Particle trying to get around Porter Martone, but he is unable. And Porter Martone trying to send this one up to Dripsky. Can't quite, and it just keeps going back and forth through the neutral zone, and Meatbag Frank's going to send this one in deep on net. Logan Stankoven on it. Back out in front. Great defensive play by Porter Martone to read that one and get it away from the front of the net. And here he comes the other way. Around one, quick shot, saved by Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster over to Shug. Shug over to Logan Stankoven. One-on-one with the goalie, an aggressive play. Rebound. Can't get the shot off. And probably Caption up to the Giat. Giat trying to get around Meatbag Franks. Stopped at the line. Meatbag Franks back again, or Shug, sorry. And over to Lego Stankover. Stankoven with a shot. Saved by Radiant Pump. Rebound, glove down. Drops this one back behind the net for Aloydia. Aloydia trying to get this one up the boards. Can't, but it pops up to Icepiller, who's going to send Giat for an opportunity here. Giat trying to walk this one straight through Cookie Monster, and he stands his ground and his gloves that one down. 2 seconds to go, and that's going to do it. 2-0 is the score. Shots were 16-12, and that is Radiant Pup's first career shutout in his first career CHA game. Isn't that special? We'll be right back in a little bit for Game 2. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for Game 2 between Rochester and Quebec. I am joined for Game 2 by the Geek Bob as my color commentator. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good, man. Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, you know, just got done with the first game. A little bit disappointing on Quebec's end, but they do have Grimace now off of LTIR after a mishap in the second game of the Oakland Seals. It seems like he did take a puck somewhere near his face and neck area and had to leave that one, unfortunately, early. And, you know, he went into a surgery immediately after the game, and it went successfully. Wasn't able to make it for the first one, but, you know, he is seeming to feel better now. We'll see how that plays a role for Quebec. Obviously, it'll play a huge one. What are your thoughts going into this one, Geek Bob?
I didn't know he got the Charlie Kirk injury, but, you know, I think it's going to be a different game now that Grimace is here. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see it the last game. But I saw, like, the end of it, maybe, like, the last, like, 2-3 minutes. But, you know, it should be a completely different game now that Grimace is here, honestly.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it appears like Grimace is defense, and Porter Martone absolutely laid out by Meatbag Franks behind the play there. Not sure how that one went uncalled. And Grimace right off the bat scores one on Radiant Pup, who appears to have lost a skate blade. And, yeah, Radiant Pup still on the ice. Maybe something happened. Not too much word. Geek Bob, what do you think of that goal by Grimace, though?
You know, I think actually what led up to it was, you know, that absolute body by Meatbag Franks to start that game. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on with, you know, our good friend Radiant Pump right now. Something wrong with his skate. I don't know if one of his, like, little cable things snapped that hold his pad in place, but, you know, I don't know what's going on with him there.
Yeah, still getting work done by the trainer there. I think we are going to blow this dead.
I thought he just moved.
Appears like the ref has blown this one dead for a moment, giving them a moment of time.
We're trying to put him in the net and center him like Goldberg. Looks like from the Mighty Ducks. But we got Porter Martone in net. Porter Martone's in.
Yeah, Radiant Pup to the bench. Porter Martone comes out of the net now, actually. Yeah, we're not. Ice Spiller. Ice Spiller into the net now. DJ cues up the music, and it looks like we are going to be back underway. 1-0 in this one. Unfortunate event by Radiant Pup, still on the bench there. Looks like he'll go down to the tunnel soon here. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe an ultimate, like, freak injury, like a torn ACL there. But we're gonna have to wait. And he is actually back now. And, you know, ref is given the clear, you know, start this face-off. I think that should be delay of game, but, you know, they did get a goal from it, so I think, you know, the hockey gods are validated with that one, I guess. I don't know. But we are underway. And Porter Martone with the face-off win to Dripsky. Dripsky stopped up at the blue line with another nice hit by Meatbag Franks. And probably Caption's there to retrieve that one and send this one over to Porter Martone, who's going to send it to Dripsky. And it's sent right back into the neutral zone. Porter Martone with a nice move, but he's stopped up at the line by Grimace. Still trying to get through. He ultimately does over to Dripsky. Dripsky with some space trying to go back. And Meatbag Frank's going to send this one over the glass. And Rochester is going to go to the power play. What is going to happen here? Meatbag Frank's still on the ice. Looks like
no power play.
We're lining up for a face-off here. All right, not sure why that one's not a penalty. And here's Caption up over to the Giat. Giat with some space, but it's crushed by Meatbag Frank, who's been playing an excellent physical game so far through this one. Giat gets a little bit of space. He's going to send this one over to Ice Spiller. Going to take this one in deep, but it's stopped up by Meatbag Frank. He's going to send this one out of the zone, forcing Rochester to regroup. Aloydia over the Giat, but the pass doesn't quite get through, and Grimace comes the other way. Shot on net, rebound, shot off the post, and it bounces back out front. And Quebec's going to send this one deep back into territory. Particle hit by Aloydia, but Radiant Pup's able to get a hold of it and freeze this one for his stoppage. What are your thoughts so far on this one?
Honestly, like I predicted at the beginning, I don't think just having Grimace is just a complete game changer. But it hasn't been like crazy dominant by Quebec yet, so.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Rochester with a good opportunity there. Dripsky elects to pass it back to Tendy, and it's picked off by the Quebec defenseman. But they are back into the zone. He's stopped up by Shug. Who's going to send this one for a stretch pass to Particle. Probably Caption gets a hold, but Particle is deep in on the forecheck, able to send this one into the hands of Radiant Pup, who's going to drop this one behind his own net in attempts to get this to probably Caption. The Particle's still with a hard forecheck, and they're able to clear it out momentarily. Meatbag Frank sends it on net, but he breaks his stick, forced to go to the bench to retrieve a new one, and the Giat's able to get a hold of it, but Meatbag Frank takes it right away from him, and he's going to take it right back into his own zone for a clean breakout, and he's going to send this one up to Logan Stankoven over to Grimace. Grimace with a shot off the post, rebound, and a save, and he goes into his own net, but the ref doesn't call it. What an excellent save by Radiant Pup, who has been displaying a great play so far in his debut. He gets the shutout. Traded from the Oakland Seals, and you know, he finally gets a shot in this one, and he's proving why he should be here. And Grimace right off the draw takes this one in, and he's gonna score right through the 5-hole, and it is now 2-0. The shots are 6-0 for Quebec.
Maybe this is where all the Grimace goals start coming in.
Yeah, Grimace just forces that one right through, and he's gonna lose this face-off. Ice Spiller's gonna take this one, trying to get it deep, but Logan Stankoven gets a hold of it. Logan Stankoven gets this one into Rochester territory. Meatbag Frank with a shot on net, but that's blocked by Radiant Pup. And here's Aloydia to clear this one. Porter Martone onto the ice, onto the forecheck right away. But Meatbag Frank's able to get this one up. And here's Grimace with an opportunity and a great save by Radiant Pup. Going back and forth, Meatbag Frank to Grimace. Grimace sends this one on into the slot. Radiant Pup comes out of his net to glove this one and gets a stoppage. Grimace 71 Stam, Porter Martone 90. That's something to note there. We'll see what Rochester can do off this face-off. And Grimace is going to win this draw, able to get this one in deep, pulls it out of the corner. Can't quite get the shot off, and probably Caption's with an opportunity now. Probably Caption, great hit by Shug. That is detrimental to Rochester. What an amazing play. The crowd gets loud here with 1:40 to go. Foot race, and probably Caption wins it, trying to send it up to Porter Martone. Porter Martone with it. can't quite get it over to the Giat, forced to regroup. Probably caption again over to Porter Martone. Porter Martone trying to get around, hit by Gabe at the blue line, and it's sent back into the neutral zone. Rochester trying to regroup, but a great forecheck by Gabe's able to keep this one deep, and Cam holds it up at the line once again. Ice Spiller with it now. Trying to get this one through up the wall. Finally does on a second attempt. And Dripski's makes a nice move on Meatbag Frank, but he's absolutely leveled at the blue line. And Frank's going to send this one up to Gabe. Gabe with a nice ping to keep it on. Oh, actually offside. Logan Stankoven alone with the goalie, but ref blows that one dead. Draw one by Rochester Steel. Sends it up to himself. Ice Spiller with an opportunity. Just walks over the shot. Seems like he fanned on that one. But Giat gets a hold of it now, and he's going to take it into Quebec territory. In the corner with it, trying to pull it out front. Gabe gets a piece of it, and he's able to send this one out of the zone, trying to get it up to Logan Stankoven, but he's unable. Finally does now on the second attempt. Logan Stankoven trying to get around probably caption, but he gets a good stick. But Logan Stankoven hard on the forecheck, ultimately loses control, and they're able to clear it, but Quebec is right back into territory. Stopped up at the blue line, and Porter Martone with it now for the Rochester Steel. Gets around one, almost gets it through, but he's leveled at the blue line by Grimace, and Grimace is able to clear this one out to Shug. Too many men there for Quebec, goes uncalled. 2 seconds to go in the period, and that's going to do it for now. 2-0 is the score. What are your thoughts on that one, Geek Bob?
No, pretty good first period there, at least for Quebec. I mean, it wasn't terrible for Rochester, but just, I mean, no shots on goal for a period. It's not ideal. So, I mean, like I said, not a terrible period for Rochester. They definitely had their opportunities that could have turned into something, but they just didn't. So they just need to get something going here, at least get 5 shots on goal this period. I think is a real thing that could happen. So
we've currently been held shotless. Shots are 9-0 for Quebec, and the score is 2-0. Quebec is outscoring what Rochester is shooting, and that is 0. So they're not skipping this intermission. Definitely having a talk in the dressing room there, and they're hoping to come out of this intermission with some fuel in their bellies and put one on the board, get some shots. And we're coming back in 8 seconds. Meatbag Frank's chirping them as they come out of the dressing room. Meatbag Frank wants to drop them with Giat. Highly contested matchup there. Meatbag Frank recently dethroned to the belt by Berto XD, who is currently the belt holder of the CHA fighting.
Soft.
Porter Martone's going to win this to the side, gets around Grimace, but he's stopped to the blue line by Meatbag Frank. Meatbag Frank gets it over to Grimace now. Grimace over to Logan Stankoven. Logan Stankoven on net, glove down by Radiant Pup, and he's going to glove this one down for a whistle. Grimace probably looking to do what he just did on the second goal, and that's to win this one forward, make a move to his right, and get a quick shot off, hoping to catch Pup. Not ready for it, but actually sends this one over to Logan Stankoven, who's going to miss the pass. And here's Porter Martone with an opportunity. Shot, scores off the floor on the board.
About one shot, one goal.
And Porter Martone shows up for his team when they need him. First shot on goal, as Rockwatts or Geek Bob said, and he makes it 2-1. Porter Martone off the draw, but he loses it to Grimace. Grimace able to get this one in momentarily, but it's sent right back out by probably Caption. Logan Stankoven with it now. Almost gets a great opportunity there, but probably Caption makes a great poke check. Going out through the neutral zone. Absolutely leveled. Meatbag Franks with another vicious hit. But here comes Rochester the other way. Quick shot on net, but it's saved by Cookie Monster. Still in deep with a forecheck. Dripski gets a hold of it. Trying to get a quick shot off. Blocked by Meatbag Frank, who's going to clear this one to Grimace. Grimace with some speed through the neutral zone. Hit, but Logan Stankoven gets a hold. Quick shot. Scores. 3-1.
Good move there by Stankoven. Just kind of beat Radiant Pup completely.
He shoots, he scores, he does. Shots currently 11-1. Logan Stankoven trying to push this one out of reach from Rochester, but they do say a 2-goal lead is the worst in hockey, so we'll see how they can respond. Great hit by Shuggington at the blue line to separate Giot from the puck. Nifty move behind the net, trying to clear this one, but Giot gets a hold, quick shot, just wide of the net. Gets back with the puck, trying to send this one over to Ice Spiller, but it's blocked down by Gabe. Gabe trying to push this one up to Particle. Gets a hold of it. Particle over to Shug. Shug just misses the shot, but Gabe gets a hold of it now. Gabe back out in front to Particle. Pass doesn't connect, and Rochester's able to clear the zone. Shug takes this one back to regroup. Gets this one over to Particle. Particle stopped up by Caption. Caption, ow! He gets leveled, and Porter Martone with an opportunity gets this one. Another shot, rebound, poked away. Another shot out in front. Saved by Cookie Monster. Dripski forcing on himself onto the goalie there. Grimace wins this one. Trying to take it out of his own zone. Sent right back in by Caption. But Meatbag Franks gets it over to Stankoven, over to Grimace. Back to Stankoven, back to Grimace. Grimace can't make a play with it. And he's going to turn it over to Dripski. Dripski gets through one. Stopped by Meatbag Franks. Caption, back over to Dripski. Dripski around one. Dripski gets around two. Hit by Meatbag Franks. Separates him from the puck, and Grimace is there to retrieve it. Grimace out of his own zone. Over to Stankoven. Stankoven sends this one on net. Radiant Pup sends it back behind his own net. And there's Giot. Giot over to Ice Spiller. Ice Spiller with a great opportunity. Shot on net off the post. Rebound saved by Cookie Monster. Giot still with it. Here's Giot. Shot, save. Rebound gloved by Cookie Monster. He's going to pass this one out to Shug. But Ice Spiller with a great forecheck gets a hold of it. Over to Giot. Save, rebound. Another save. Great plays by Cookie Monster there with a pepper of shots by Rochester. Here's Quebec down the other way. Trying to send this one over to Cam. Cam loses it to Giot. Giot over to Ice Spiller. Pass doesn't connect. Shug the other way. Puts it momentarily on net, but Radiant Pup sends it right back out. Cam gets it out front, but the pass doesn't connect, and here comes Porter Martone the other way. Porter Martone trying to drop this one off for Dripski, but he doesn't pick it up. Gets a hold of it again, though. Porter Martone hit on the wall. Gabe with it now, but Porter Martone's right back with it. Still in control. Poked off by Gabe. Gabe trying to free this one up. Porter Martone back in control. Quick shot just goes wide of the net. Trying to get this one out front to Dripski, but Cam pokes it away. Dripski with it now. Gets around Meatbag Frank, leveled by Gabe. And he's going to think twice about making that move next time. And here's Gabe out of his own zone to Stankoven. Stankoven stopped up at the red line by probably Caption, who's going to pass this one over to Dripski. Dripski trying to get it out front to Porter Martone, but he can't. Frank sends this one over to Grimace. Grimace hit up at the blue line by Porter Martone. Can't quite get it out, though, and it's sent right back in by Quebec. Here's Stankoven. Stankoven deep into Rochester territory. Gets this one up to Grimace, but the pass doesn't connect, and it's sent right back to Giat. Giat with a great opportunity there, but a great back check by Meatbag Franks. And he's going to send this one up to Stankoven. Stankoven up to Grimace. Grimace pokes this one through. Great hit by Aloydia. Stankoven gets the puck, though. Gets around one, poked up by Aloydia. And Giat's going to able to clear this one out of the zone. Giat into Quebec territory. He's got Meatbag Franks on his tail. Meatbag Franks still right behind them. They're going battling through the corner. Momentarily gets it out front, but that's going to do it for the second period. Scores 3-1. Rochester puts one on the board and 6 shots. You know, that's exactly what Geek Bob said. They're going to need to turn it up even more for the third if they want to have a shot at this one.
Yeah, I said that they should at least get 5 shots. And I said that it's realistic. They got... So... you know, obviously... You know, aim for high goals. Maybe they try to get 10 here in this period. Which...
Porter Martone off
the
the
power
draw.
play.
Yeah, they get a power play. Here's Dripsky. Dripsky pulls it back to himself, but he puts it over now to Porter Martone. Porter Martone with an opportunity just shoots this one wide. Dripsky's there to retrieve it. Takes it back up into the top of the blue line, but Grimace is there. Grimace now with a step on Caption. Grimace across. Caption with a great recovery, able to separate Grimace from the puck there. Grimace still in control, though. Back over to Logan Stankoven. Shot save. Ref waits to blow this one down. Radiant Pup holds it. And we do have a defensive face-off here for the Rochester Steel. Dripsky to take it against Grimace. Porter Martone electing to stay on the wing for this one. Probably trying to get a quick run off the draw or defend Grimace if he tries to go forward. And Grimace does try to go forward, but Porter Martone is able to clear it. And Caption now over to Dripsky. Dripsky trying to get this one through the neutral zone, but it's stopped up by Grimace. Grimace pulls it back to himself, trying to get the shot on net, but Porter Martone's able to get a control, and he puts this one over to Dripsky. Dripsky to Caption, back over to Dripsky. Dripsky with an opportunity now, pulls it through, but Grimace just gets a stick on that one, able to keep it away from his netminder. Grimace now trying to go up to Particle, but Aloydia is there to stop him up and take it deep into Quebec territory. No one there to cover him, though, and now we have a foot race between Gabe and Giat. Giat tries to go for the hit, misses it, but Gabe gets this one over to Particle in front, but a great poke check by Aloydia, and he sends this one up to Ice Spiller. But Shuggington gets there first, but Rochester ultimately gets it back, and then stopped up by the blue line. Here's Particle on a break. Particle shot saved by Radiant Pup, and he's going to send this one to Giat. Giat to Ice Spiller. Ice Spiller with room. This is a 2-on-0. Ice Spiller pulls it across. Just whiffs on the shot, and Shug's able to clear this one out of the zone. Rochester there to regroup, but Particle picks off Giat's pass, but Aloydia is there to recover for him and separate their player off the puck. And Porter Martone now to retrieve it in his own zone. Porter Martone, nifty move around Gabe. Another nifty move around Stankoven. Porter Martone trying to take a shot. Blocked by Meatbag Franks, and here's Grimace the other way. Grimace through Caption, shot on net, saved by Radiant Pup. Meatbag Frank sends it deep back into territory, but Caption's able to send this one out of the zone. Grimace with it. Grimace poked up at the line by Porter Martone. Porter Martone stopped at the blue line by Meatbag Franks. Meatbag Franks trying to send this one in deep. Can't. Absolutely levels Dripsky, and here's Grimace the other way with a shot. Grimace absolutely leveled by Porter Martone, and he looks him down after. Porter Martone battling with Grimace in the corner. Bit of a rivalry between these two. And he's able to clear it over to Dripsky. Pass doesn't connect, though, and Shug trying to send this one back into Rochester territory. But it's stopped up at the line by Caption. But here's Shug again with it. Shug takes a shot, blocked by Aloydia. Sent back through the neutral zone. Here's Giat with an opportunity. Shaw scores! 3-2.
Wow.
The fans get loud here in Rochester as the score becomes tight between one. First shot of the period for Rochester, and it seems like the story was written that way, as on their first shot they will score, but now they need to rewrite the story and get another one on the board. Ice Spiller off the draw. Can't quite get around Shug. But he finally does. Gets it in deep. Trying to look out front. Stopped up by Cam. This one's cleared out of the zone to Aloydia. Aloydia trying to regroup and send it deep, but he is unable. And Quebec's able to take it back deep into Rochester territory. Radiant Pup with the puck, and he sends it to the Giat, but it's stopped up by Cam to keep it in. Back out in front. Shot just goes wide. Cam back in control. Trying to send it out back out in front again, but Giat's there to recover. And Giat's taking this one up himself. Can't quite get it through the neutral zone, and it's sent back in the zone. But here he is with space now. Giat whiffs on the shot, and Meatbag Frank clears this one momentarily as Ice Spiller trying to force it into the zone. Meatbag Frank there to recover, but Gabe gets it in now. Gabe on Caption's tail, but he ultimately can't get it. But here's Grimace with an opportunity. Grimace stopped up by Caption, forcing Quebec to regroup. Meatbag Frank's pass does not connect, and here comes Porter Martone the other way. Porter Martone gets around 2, can't quite get around 3 as he's hit on twice and finally loses control. But he's there to regroup with himself, and he's trying to send this one up to Dripsky. But Cookie Monster is going to elect to come out of his net to play this one out to Grimace. Grimace to Stankoven with Sroom. Stankoven over to Grimace. Grimace with a shot right off the post. Grimace still in control here, pulls it back. Trying to get this one through, but Porter Martone's able to pick it up, and here's Dripsky with room. Here's Dripsky. Shot across. Shot saved by Cookie Monster with 13 seconds to go. Just 10 now, and here comes Grimace the other way. Grimace is going to send this one to Radiant Pup, who's going to desperately try to get this one up, and that's going to do it. Quebec is able to win this one 3-1 with the return of Grimace. My name's Berto XD. You've been joined by the Geek Bob, and this is the Crafted Hockey Association. We'll be back on Monday between the Oakland Seals